There we go. Thank you very much, Count Corla. I'd like to start by welcoming this debate, albeit the change of subject causing some problems which were entirely foreseeable, and therefore I'm quite surprised that the issue of the day was not front and centre in the Minister's contribution, but I'll come back to that. I would like to start by lending my support to the students of Ireland, Count Corla, in relation to the fare reduction scheme that's currently in place. I would like very much for that scheme to be continued to incentivise further the students of Ireland to use public transport to get more people out of their cars. And I think that is something that most members of the House that I've spoken to so far over the last day agree with. So if you could convey that, please. I would also like to call on the NTA to ensure that Dubliners are not deliberately excluded from the 90-minute fare zone. As you will have heard, Minister, Skerries and Balbriggan are not included, but clearly should be. An exception should be made, and I think we should get it done. Indeed, Deputy O'Dowd mentioned about the massive fare variations as you go the next station up after Balbriggan or the one after that. We need to move away from that. It should be a fare based on getting on and getting off, not the distance you travel. If we want to encourage people to use sustainable transport, if we want to encourage people to use battery electric trains, then we should be charging them a modest amount, and the state would pick up the tab for the transport company because it's about the environment as well. But we should only be discussing the predictable and unforgivable scenes at Dublin Airport at the weekend. The ministers have met with the DAA, and yet we're no clearer if the scenes of last weekend will be repeated this coming bank holiday weekend, and I have very little faith that they will be avoided. How many need to be in the queue before somebody asks if heads should roll, Minister? If you can't manage airport operations, I cannot be alone in suggesting that there needs to be a change. And I'm not referring to this Chief Executive who's already announced his intention to move on. We have known for almost 3 months that passenger numbers were rising. And I think it's unacceptable to hear that the DAA don't know how many passengers excuse me, they are to expect on any given day. They sell the slots. They know the aircraft type. They can extrapolate, and they don't appear to be capable of doing that. That is frankly bizarre. The whole situation stinks, Minister. But Minister, it would be remiss of me in the last few seconds I have not to mention sustainable transport and Dublin Airport in the same breath without mentioning Metrolink. And we're almost at the end of Q2, Minister, and the railway order was due by the end of Q2. So I would really like to know where that railway order is and to hear back from TII in relation to whether any aspect of the delivery of Metrolink can be accelerated. Because having spoken with industry experts in other jurisdictions in the last number of months, I really do find it hard to believe that the people of Dublin cannot expect Metro until, what was it now, 2034 and rising. So I think we need to get real. We need to have a critical analysis of the skill set within our planning sections across government departments and their ability to deliver on these critical pieces of social transport infrastructure. Thank you very much.
Deputy